Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's Rad. And tonight, few nights before the Easter here, I'm visiting my family for the Easter. We're gonna check into what do we need to know right now. My favorite stream. And by the way, that is the reason why I was slacking lately. For example, why there was no live stream on Sunday, because I was traveling to my parents. You know, the same reason is as well why there is not going to be a live stream this Sunday, because it's Easter here, so I'm gonna be spending time with them. Uh, in any case, what do we need to know? So for the collective reading, you can, if you have been observant, you may have spotted the cards at the thumbnail. But in any case, I'm going to show them to you anyway. Just let me put a little bit more light in the room. Hold on a second. Because here I do not have my usual gear with the spotlights. And so I will have to work with the overhead lights. And hopefully that doesn't create a bit more inconvenience. So the first card that I drew, that is 7 of Wands, followed by the second card that I drew, which is the Wheel of Fortune, and the third one that I drew, that is the 10 of Cups. Hello Yasmin, welcome to the channel and to the stream. All right, so it's a quite of a conundrum. What do we need to know? Oh my god, how can I put it? Well, imagine you have everything. Imagine that there is a field in your life that you happen to be quite content. For me, that will be, for example, my freedom and peace. Okay, I'm saying for me. For others, it could be their career, that they happen to be quite content. For third, maybe their family life, and so on and so forth, right? So everybody has their field in life that they kind of happen to be quite content. And so what we need to know is that exactly in this field, there is going to be what I like to call it a perfect storm. And under a perfect storm, I do mean that there is going to be at a certain point in the next few days, maybe to a week, even a perfect arrangement of a circumstances and a chain of events, for a lack of better expression. So my point here is that at this field that we do find ourselves being content, there is going to be an opening that we do not need, or at least we're going to think that we do not need that opening. And while this opening, it's going to appear to be a perfect opportunity for growth, which we do not want, because an opportunity for us will happen to be a disturbance of this content that we have accomplished. For me, for example, and I'm trying to give myself as an example so I can make my point across, for me, the peace is going to be disrupted for, I don't know, could be a relationship, job offer, whatever the case, okay? Bottom line is that there is going to be a perfect arrangement here that allow us to grow, but it will have to come on an expense for a, again, disruption. I'm not trying to say here that there is going to, that we will have to sacrifice anything, but it's going to be on a slight expense on the field in our lives that we do feel content about and more or less almost 100% certain about it. That for me, the peace will continue. Well, Whether we take on this opportunity or not, it's entirely up to us. As usual, you know, huge disclaimer here. Tarot is not designed to make choices for anyone, and it cannot. If someone tells you otherwise, they're lying, right? And the fact that this opportunity is going to be there, at least in my belief, unavoidable. But whether we take it or not, up to us. And that is why it's going to be a conundrum. Someone finds thyself quite hard to pass on something so perfect, while in the same time being hesitant, reluctant to jeopardize what have been built up until this point. And that is what we need to know, that we do have a major decision coming our way, whether we do want to have an adventure or whether we do want to keep on going as we are going up until this point. And so now there are going to be 12 readings, just like this one for each star sign. I'm going to start with Aries, and I'm going to run down the ecliptic, meaning Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and so on and so forth up until I reach Pisces. And bear in mind that these are readings for your star signs, so based on how prominent one star sign or another is in your natal chart will determine how and where those readings are going to manifest for you. But use them as more as a guidance, as an information to open your mind for other possibilities rather than for an exact answer to your question. Now, if you do wish your personal situations to be a subject of my readings, you can always go to my website, which link you will find in the description down below. And there at the very front page, you can see full list of my services and as well their pricing. Other than that, if you do enjoy the show and you do wish to support us, you can do so totally by or via Super Chat or a PayPal. For PayPal link you will find in the description down below. And any Patreon who does so will have a reading at the end of the stream, personalized reading at the end of the stream that is guaranteed. Just like Yasmin did. Yasmin, thank you for the 20 US dollars. Let me put you into the list. Okay. So with that being said, going forward, we do have Aries. You can track which star sign I'm reading for by observing the glyph being displayed here on my right hand side. All right, for Aries, first one, Queen of Swords. Second card, it is the Nine of Wands. And the third one, that is going to be the Eight of Cups. So we do have an individual. What do you need to know, Aries? It is that there is an individual around you that pretty much had undertook the endeavor to rearrange stuff for you in order to make a unfavorable situation, unfavorable position more favorable for you. Now there is at least according to these cards, there is a pros and cons to it. Now for the cons, more or less the future of development will be bound to the will, or rather like to the predisposition of this individual, Queen of Swords. Now, a few words how you can address or rather like recognize that person. These are people who doesn't give a dime, right? They don't give a damn whether they hurt or help someone. All that matters for them is results. And for some reason, your results correlate with their results, or they will get results through you. That could be your boss, or it could be, I don't know, your neighbor who is trying to develop something thanks to you, and so on and so forth. And thus, right now, they have been uh, endeavoring to make your life easier by rearranging, again, things you do not have control over. So your position, and as well the things you're going through right now, being more pleasant, and as well, how can I put it into words, bearable, for lack of better expression. Now, formidable ally, that is what you are going to have within the next few days. The Nine of Wands being next to the Queen of Swords, that predisposes for intimacy as well. But whether you take on that down that path or not, or you decide to walk down that path or not, it's entirely up to you and to your own discretion. Just one warning here: do not kind of like piss off this individual, because as a formidable ally they can become a formidable foe. And Queen of Swords, it is one of the worst you can have, because like I said, they don't care, they don't give a shit. And if they can ruin you, if they kind of like make it as a purpose of theirs to ruin you, they will stop in front of nothing. Even if it costs them their, figuratively speaking, life, they will do it anyway. Use this allegiance wisely, because through it you can definitely push your things through. All right, next, that will be Taurus. Ten of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, the Star. It's a way out, simply said. A way out of a situation that is kind of like putting your back against the wall, and that way out is going to come super unexpectedly out of nowhere through seemingly random circumstances, and it will make all of your concerns and worries pretty much disappear, and the only thing you got to do is decide in favor of it. Now, one thing you should know, that there is no going back from that decision. So, and forgive me for the example here, but say you're in a super abusive relationship, you love your partner, but you know they are kind of like abusing you, whether physically or whether emotionally, whether mentally. And what you need to know is that you're going to have a way out. Now, you will also know that once you take on that choice, there is no going back to that person while you love the person, right? So it's a tough choice. One way or the other, you are going to lose something, but if you do take on the way out, the reward is going to be greater than the loss. That is what you need to know, at least according to these cards, okay? Or that could be about a job, you know, you may be unappreciated, again, abused at work through verbal, kind of like mental cruelty. And while you love your job, you have a way out here. That could be another job or an opening for business, whatever the case. So you have to sacrifice your current job you love, but the reward is going to be better, far better. All right, next, Gemini. Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles. Seven of Cups. Eight of Pentacles. Do you know what this looks like? That is like you know, addressing a child, like telling a child, for example, a child wants, I don't know, let's say an Xbox, right? A console, video game console. And you say to the child, well, if you behave for the next, say, couple of weeks, I am going to buy you one. Oh, that is a kind of condition you will receive, okay, for a thing you kind of like hope to get. Whether that could be a commitment, whether that could be, I don't know, a project, whether that could be a promotion, regardless. But what you need to know it is that whatever you hope for, you will have a, how do you call it, a proposal, maybe? I don't know how to exactly call it, or an ultimatum. That if you do change a certain ways in your lifestyle or in your character or whatever case, this what you crave for will be presented to you. Well, now that I think of, I had in the university when I was a girl that just really hated smokers and pretty much told me that she can be with me only if I quit smoking. Well, it didn't turn out to be in her favor, you know. I remember back in the days when my father bought me a computer and my mother gave me the same ultimatum, you know, I will allow you to play on the computer only if you quit smoking. Well, that didn't turn out very well, did it? But yeah, so something like that, you know. For example, if you aren't working so late, we can really start going out and so on and so forth. So you will have to change something about your lifestyle in order to get what you're craving. Okay. Mattia, thank you for the 20. Thank you, Mattia. Jennifer, Jen, actually, thank you for the 20 as well. Thank you, Jen. Let me put you guys into the list, girls into the list, and at the end of the stream, you will have your reading. Okay. All right. Moving forward, Cancer. Two of Cups. Well, yeah, but that is the American pronunciation. What if your pronunciation is a Nordric, which is Yennefer, right? So I think it's the Nordric one. Six of Swords. And the World. It's about a relationships, guys. It's about relationships, and that the relationships are going to grow less and less upheavalish and as well chaotic. And less you will have to kind of like do things that are out of character. for you. Well, in Bulgarian, there is a specific word for it, but I can't figure it out in English. Maybe I'm going to check it out later on. The bottom line is that your relationships are going to start growing more and more stable. And through that growth of stability, you are going to start recognizing which relationships, it doesn't have to be just only one, but which relationships are going to be there to stay. So if you happen to be confused about a business relationship or about a personal relationship, about an intimate one in the next few days, it should become pretty clear for you whether that person loves you or is interested in doing business with you, and so on and so forth, through the development of the stability within the relationship. It's going to develop one way or the other. One way is going to be that you're going to grow closer and closer, more entangled into business endeavors or personal endeavors, intimate endeavors, and so on and so forth. Or it's going to grow in stoic stability, where just, you know, the relationship is there, but nothing really happens in it. And that's going to be your cue that that's not going to work out at all. Oh, so you do have a Norse blood. Leo. Or rather Leo. You know, being ridiculed. I am not pronouncing the star sign correctly. And funny thing, I was doing it correctly, but someone ridiculed me for it, you know, doing a shits and giggles with me, and I started doing it the wrong way around, and I grow so used to it that I'm just not thinking about it. I'm just saying Leo. While it is actually Leo. Ten of Pentacles. The Emperor. And the Nine of Wands. You're welcome, Living Girl. Well, what do you need to know, guys, is the heat is about to give way, for lack of better expression here. So situations at work are going to become less complicated and more superficial, for lack of better expression. Yeah, Leo. Yeah. Hold on a second, guys. Probably best it is if I give you an example. And I'll give a career example. You know, there is a project that things are changing on a whim. You start with the demands of the morning, and at the evening the demands are completely different. And to make things worse, the client is pulling stuff out of their bottom, right? Because if you do not kind of like a cut to the chase and set certain boundaries, they will make you run for your money. And it's not just only running, it's skyrocketing for your money. And exactly that kind of upheavalish behavior of the situation is going to sap. So people won't gonna be able to change things on a whim or wriggle out of certain responsibilities that they do have towards you or toward your own endeavors. And thus your situation at work, at your personal life, at your social life as well, will start to grow more and more comfortable, because you will actually, for a change, gonna know what happens next and what you have to pretty much focus on, and how you got to do it. And that's, I don't know how exactly, Leo, is gonna contribute for a great sense of independence and freedom, at least for you. Something more specific here that probably is not going to be in effect for all of you, but what you should expect is someone out of your past to reach out to you. What's gonna be the intentions, pretty unclear from the cards, but this is how, what you need to know, it is that there is a big chance that someone out of your past to reach out to you. Right, next, Virgo. Page of Pentacles, King of Wands, Three of Wands. It's dependency, not yours, but someone around you that it is dependent on you or on the things you are doing. Like, for example, your employees, okay? But this goes a bit deeper than that. It's like a mirroring. This is what I am trying to say. Well, Patricia, that was just an example, but if you can relate, that's great, because yeah, it's these are the tendencies, at least according to these tarot cards, things to become more defined as time progresses. Here, however, for Virgo, we're talking about dependencies, and that is, for example, a person who is mirroring your ambition because they do not have their own ambition, all right? And they see your ambition and they say, this is what I want. Again, like a child is mirroring his or her parents, and that person is doing exactly the same thing. And more they become more entangled with your life and with your day-to-day routine, and before long you're going to start seeing them everywhere, especially if this is someone you work with. They will mirror you in everything pretty much you do, because not basically you are a big example for them, like a mentor, without you even knowing it. Now, if you are a friend with this person that it is mirroring you, they definitely want to have more than just a friendship with you, at least according to these cards, but they do not feel ready to make that step on their own. Like, for example, approach you and say, you know what, I like you, let's try it out, okay? And how you're gonna recognize this person? Very quiet. They do not like to show off. They like to be invisible, and they definitely do not like going out for well, they can go out for walks, but by themselves, and they do not like going partying in pubs, you know, and discos and bars and whatnot. Okay, next, Libra. The Magician, Three of Wands. My God, that's super. Nine of Pentacles. That's not good. With the Nine of Pentacles, he's actually slamming it into the ground. Because you know what? Anyone but you is gonna call it a wasted effort or a wasted time. Because that's what happens, guys. What you need to know it is that within the next few days, you are going to find yourself quite ahead of schedule, quite ahead of time, quite ahead of performance, if you will. Okay. Your job's going to go well. Your personal relationship's going to go well. It is just everything is going to settle in very, very well established patterns by you. And that's going to be the moment where you're going to say, you know what? I should put myself or put for myself a challenge, something to look forward to, something to keep me content, you know, something to keep me excited, for a lack of better expression. And everyone else but you will define it as a waste of time and efforts, because if you look at it materially, is going to be, at least according to these cards, your skill, your knowledge, your determination wasted, because nothing is going to come out of it aside from your content, compassion, and fulfillment. So if you are doing it to just prove something to yourself, for example, or just because you like doing it, then that's fine, that's great. You're not going to waste anything, because, you know, happiness does not carry on a price tag. But if you are going to start doing that challenge in order to gain more material prospect, whether, you know, monetary gains or positions and so on and so forth, then is going to be wasted. So the way I see it, it is that within the next few days, you will come up with a nice hobby as something really, really cool, but with no practical application, at least not for now. That is what you need to know. All right, next, Scorpio. The Moon. Knight of Wands. Temperance. Well, I would have loved to know more. I would have loved now to have a Lenormand cards, so I can check what these cards are all about. Because everything that they say, it is that things are way too far ahead any one of us to have a change of heart. And we are, I will say it that way, on a path towards something fated, whether that's a fated relationship, fated job, or let's express it in another way. We are on a path of something or towards something we are meant to be at or to experience with, okay? And there is no changing it back. There is no other option available in front of us. There is no wriggling ourselves out of it. We are heading straight away toward our destiny or toward our doom. One may say that they are one of the same, just the heads and tails of a coin. But that is what we need to know. We have made our bet. Some made it sooner than later, or rather like recently. Others made it long time ago, whatever the case. But we are now heading into the direction we are meant to be at. That is for Scorpio. Now next, Sagittarius. Oh, and back to Scorpio here. If you are feeling confused right now, not about the reading, but about things that are going on around you, you can't figure out, you know, what people want or how things are going to turn out, that's completely normal. we are not supposed to know, because otherwise we are going to screw it up, and we are not supposed to screw it up. So just go with the flow. We should go with the flow. Something that I'm far too good of doing. Yeah, far too good of doing. Even sometimes, because, you know, I'm lazy and I don't care to bother. And, you know, the flow is everything I got. But some people are not like me. So, Sagittarius. Five of Wands. The Star. The Strength. Is that, yeah, that's the Strength. It's a huge turnaround. What you need to know, it is that at the moment you are feeling with your back against the wall, like nothing can be done, all right? Like things are going down the drain, like you are hitting the rock bottom. Actually, the rock bottom is going to happen to be a trampoline. It's a huge reversal, huge turnaround that goes against, in front of you, so to speak. That said, do not give up, okay? This is the, how can I put it into words? Into words. If the storm is the good thing that can happen to you, this is the calmness before the storm. It is the worst, and then the best. It is very, very near afterwards. So just don't give up. Tackle. What would have been a bad joke, mate? No, I'm not gonna say it. It involves the planes as well, and it is a Malaysian plane. Because they never arrived. You know, they are not just late, they never arrived. No, and actually, you know, some people kind of like, it's talent, but in a bad way. Yeah, you know, they really, really make you want to, I don't know, tell them to go away. Yeah. Well, MH370 exactly. It's MH370. I'm fascinated by that mystery, by the way. Capricorn. Well, Jen, you don't have to keep on going. Just do not let go, right? You can just keep it dormant. That's another thing. Well, I don't know about the wormhole or the UFO because they pretty much found the wreckage. Okay, they found the wreckage all around the Indian Ocean. So the plane crashed. The mystery is the behavior. What made the plane to do these maneuvers, and why at that direction? It just is so bizarre. There is no question about the crashing of the plane. The question is why the pilot made that U-turn and actually flew in the opposite direction where there actually nothing in there, right? They were basically doomed from the get-go. Because it's not like the plane crashed because the fuel was insufficient so they can reach a destination. There is no destination in that direction. It's just a barren ocean. So it was weird. All right, Capricorn. Taco, thank you for the $33.33. Thank you, Taco. Let me put you into the list. Yeah, but then why there is no work from the pilots? The pilots can take the plane offline and drive it that way to the nearest airport, for example. A pilot was involved. 8 of Cups. 9 of Swords. And 3 of Pentacles. Do you know what other mystery I'm fascinated with? And I am pretty much devouring any information I can get across? That is the Dyatlov Pass incident. You can check it out. It's so creepy. Whoo, man. I mean, I don't know what happened there, but it was so bizarre. That is a real mystery. Fear not, for a support is coming. So what you need to know, Capricorn, is that let me have a... Well, if you love them, mate, I can give you so much material. I was obsessed by them. Yeah. So for Capricorns, whatever you fear about as a consequences that haven't happened yet. For example, okay, you really pissed off your boss and you are now worried that as a consequence, they are going to kick you off work. That is just for example. Well, the right people are going to intervene so you will not have to suffer at least the full extent of these consequences. Okay? So it's a protective shield that you will be enveloped with within the next few days. Or say you had a really huge fight with your partner in life and now you may fear the consequence that they're going to leave you. Well, probably their family is going to intervene so they do not do that. So someone is going to breed some sense into whether the people or the side of the situation that you are afraid you are going to lose. Okay? And that will mark pretty much, the word is not growth, but like a huge improvement within whether the communication, within whether the job, within whether the relationship or the friendship, and so on and so forth. But your actions are also going to be criticized, and it's going to serve you very well if you listen to it and try to adopt what you have been criticized about, because this criticism, at least according to these cards, is going to be a productive one. So aside from the Dyatlov Pass, the Yuba 5, it's a huge mystery as well. Now I can't think of more off the top of my head, but there is a channels being dedicated to the unsolved mysteries, and there are pretty weird ones. Anna, thank you for the 20. Thank you, Anna. Let me put you into a list as well. All right, next, Aquarius. Five of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles. Ace of Wands. Just before I go to Aquarius, now I remember the channel that there is a lot of mysteries. It's actually dedicated to mysteries. Before I forget about it, it's called Bedtime Stories, and it's very well animated, very well narrated. A channel for unsolved mysteries. It's great. But lately they have turned to be more UFO based, and I do hate UFOs. It's just it's not something I'm interested in. That's why I stopped watching it. But some of the early ones, great. I mean, great content. You can check it out if you will. All right, Aquarius, what do you need to know? It is that you are your own undoing. What those cards are showing here is that you do have so much more potential, whether within your job, to grow within your job, whether within your love life, to attract more people, to have more fun, all right, and to just have a better love life. But for some reason, you alone are creating a mundane issues there, which happen to be the stone that turns over the carriage. That is an expression in our country. It is that it is not the steep road which is turning over the carriage that you are driving into, but it is the small stone that the wheel bumps into. Okay, and so through your lifestyle you are creating these small stones, whether your behavior, whether your, I don't know, criterias, and so on and so forth. So what do you need to know? It is that you alone are making problems where problems should not be, and thus maybe you would like to revisit that. Because according to these cards, you do have a tremendous potential, and you do not, at least at that point, you do not need anything new, like new suitor, like a new job, and so on and so forth, because you can go for so much more at the ones you already have. Okay, and last but not least, that will be Pisces. Eight of Swords, Eight of Cups, King of Cups. it's behavior issue. It's behavior issue or a communicational issue. So what you need to know it is that there is a proposal or an offer that wants to find you. That could be an organization that wants to offer you or propose you something, or a person. But because of your whether communication with them or whether your behavior towards them, they cannot find the right way to do it. Okay? So that is what you need to know. And this obstruction, so to speak, is based most likely on prejudice. You do have prejudices that you have displayed, that you have expressed, and these prejudices are making these people or that person uncomfortable making you this offer. So that said, it's going to serve you very well if you think of what kind of prejudices you have expressed in front of resourceful individuals, and not subtract but retract them if you can. And that will open up this offer, which, by the way, when it comes, you will see that there is no prejudice that can make you deny it. Well, guys, that's gonna do it for the 12th. And now the super chat. Taco, I forgot my Lenormand cards, mate. So I won't be able to draw you Lenormand today. Unfortunately, I just forgot them. I prepared them to take them with me, going to my parents, but I forgot them. So today, only tarot. Okay. Hold on a second, guys. Yasmin first. Those are the 3 cards, Yasmin. Seven of Cups, Two of Wands, the Chariot. It's about a dream. Or a wish, rather. It's about a wish that will become possible to be accomplished, but will require you giving up on a current development. That is what you need to know. For example, okay, you are developing your relationship, things are going very well, you wish a certain type of job, that job comes about, but in order to grow in this job or sustain in that job, at least for now, you will have to give up on the growth, not on the relationship itself, but on the growth of this relationship, okay? So there is going to be, what you need to know, it is that yes, a wish for you can come true, but it will come on an expense of a current development. Or it could be vice versa, you know, that you're developing your work, you're developing your career, and suddenly you wish you have a good love life, and that can become true, but you have to give up on the development of your career, at least for now. So that is what you need to know. There is going to be fork in the road for you, and you have to decide how you should proceed forward. It's going to be very difficult for you to kind of like not go with the sacrifice, because that's going to be really a big wish that up until this point seemed not just out of your reach, but like a part of different universe, and now becomes a part of yours. So it will feel like, you know, missing a thing that comes once in a lifetime if you decide to kind of like have a pass. You're welcome, Sherry. A long time no see. All right, next, Mattia. You're welcome, Yasmin. The Hermit. Three of Pentacles, Three of Cups, sorry. And Seven of Pentacles. So what you need to know, Mattia, is that people who are essential for you, like for example your children, like for example your husband, like for example your business partner, and so on and so forth, are gonna see how important that endeavor or enterprise is for you. And that will, from it, what's gonna follow is their understanding the least and unconditional support the most. So if you have been criticized, ridiculed, confronted about choices you have recently made about one thing or another, that should stop very, very soon, within the next few days, probably also accompanied with an apology, because again, these people are going to see how important that thing is for you. Not just only that, but also for some reason they will see that it's going to work. And it's not for some reason, but because there is going to be results. So you can expect as well, whatever recently you have started as an enterprise endeavor, there are gonna be a very first results within the next few days. So that's gonna prove everybody wrong into not believing that what you have started or what you are trying to develop bears no merit. It actually does, a big one, in fact. So that is what you need to know. All right, Jen, love guidance. You're welcome, Mattia. You mentioned that you are confused. Those are your cards: Ten of Wands, Four of Swords, Eight of Swords. That is because there is no like a plan, okay? Like a plan, like a clear definition. What these cards are saying and what you need to know in order not to be confused with your love life right now is a criteria, something like a vow, something like a arranging the responsibilities in such a way that everyone carries on their weight, okay? And in order that to happen, what these cards are advising here is a quite profound conversations with whomever you are, how can I put it into words, fixing or fixating with that particular question, how they wish things to proceed and to continue. And basically imagine that your love life is a game that game needs to have a rules, so there could be winning. Well, your game currently doesn't have a rules, it's free for all out there, and it comes, or rather like it falls to you, and when I say you, both of you, to define or to give that game a rules. So that's what it's gonna take. You just sit down and frank conversations. But there must be some, like I said, rules, responsibilities, standards that you both need to uphold yourself, both of you, too. All right, next, Taco. Guys, these readings are for the super chat patrons. I did this. This is not a blitz or a tarot or a tarot hour or whatever. Thank you, Tasha. These are the cards, Taco, Four of Pentacles, the Lovers, and the Sun. I really wished I had my Lenormand cards with me, so I know what these are speaking about. Because what these cards are speaking about, Taco, and what you need to know, it is that very soon you will have to make a very big decision, all right? And either way, this is going to undermine. Sorry. It's going to undermine, I would say it that way, your setup. What I mean is that, you know, everyone is striving to ensure some kind of a future, and everyone it is building toward that insurance, and that buildup is going to be undermined through that decision. So the only thing that I can think of right now, what could be, it is an aspect you are relying on, whether that could be money, okay, that you are, for example, saving to purchase a house, or that is just for an example, or you have a job that you are relying on and whatnot, and you are relying on that these money are going to stay as they are, or the job is going to stay as they are, but you have to make a choice about the money or about the job, and so on and so forth, okay? And this choice, whatever choice you make, that is going to change the state of what you are relying on, and as this changes the state on what you are relying on, that is going to also undermine the security of the future. That doesn't mean that the future is going to be lost, not by any means, but it just is going to make things more complicated. And the reason why you have to make the choice, or rather like that decision, that big decision, is because things are going to get far out of hand in terms of a harmonious experience. So it's going to be better to jeopardize the security of whatever future than to kind of like keep on going as things are right now. It's not, no, it's not waiting. That's the thing. It's not waiting. It's actually an action. So maybe you're going to be tired of waiting and that's going to push you forward. But having the Sun to the Four of Pentacles, that also speaks that it is going to be slightly out of character, out of your character, or, you know, out of someone else's character that is involved, for example, but it's going to be out of character. Because the Sun card, if nothing else, it does describes the natural unfoldment of things, the natural character, just like the Sun always rises from the east and sets on the west. Okay, here it is a neutral card to the Four of Pentacles, which means that it can go either way, and therefore it's going to, things have potential to go out of character for you or for other people. And bottom line, and what strives for is again to gain harmony, whether in your business or whether in your love life and whatnot. But it's gonna again come on an expense for a temporary comfort, for a lack of better expression. So what is it? This is what you need to know, that you have a major decision to make, and there is no right or wrong one. It's just whichever way you try to twist it, still is gonna put you in a uncomfortable position, at least for a short while. And last but not least, that's going to be Anna. But when I go back home, mate, which is Tuesday, I will draw you Lenormand and I'm going to mail you what this is truly about if things didn't happen up until then for you. No. Not to keep the balance, to keep the harmony. Balance is different thing, okay? Harmony is not a balance. Harmony is what is comfortable with you. Balance is two opposites being equal. These are two different things, okay? So in order to get the harmony, you will disrupt the balance. All right, Anna, those are your cards. Eight of Swords, the World, and the Queen of Cups. It stirs, okay? It stirs. Now, there are a few ways, though, how we can look at these cards as an interpretation. One of them, it is a wrongly interpret information that's, well, other way said, an information that you have interpreted wrongly or incorrectly, so to speak. Now, if I think of as an example, imagine that you are going out with someone and you just and you read a chat that that person had with someone, with another woman, and you interpret that like, you know, he's fucking around and cheating on you and whatnot, but that woman happens to be a cousin of him, for example, and they're just, you know, this is just the way how they are talking with each other. If you see how I'm talking with my brother, you will say that we are the worst enemies out there, but actually that is just how we are bending things around and how we are talking with one another. So it's like a bias that will make you misinterpret a certain situation or a certain information that comes your way. So that said, here, it's going to be best if you try to get to the bottom of it. So there is no, again, we call it a broken phone in our country, like presuming that you know the truth, but that's not actually the truth. That is one thing that you should need to know. Another thing that you should need to know here is that things aren't over in term of growth. There are possibilities for you, whether to grow your business or whether to go out and date people, or a specific person, for example, and whatnot. It's just, there is so much possibilities for you, but they are outside of the scope of your not comprehension, but what you allow yourself to experience. So we do have a bias in either case. You are biased toward a certain group of people, and that's why you aren't dating that kind of individuals. But you can have a very big success with that kind of an individual. Or you have a bias toward hiring certain type of people, but they can be a super valuable asset to your business, right? Or you may have a bias, I don't know, traveling into certain places, but you can have so much fun into those places. So what you need to know is that you do have biases that needs to be omitted, whether in order to judge accurately information or situations or informations, or in order to how can I put it into words, make possible certain realities that right now aren't, because of these biases, or in other words said, self-imposed limits. That's what those cards are showing. You have self-imposed limits that are not allowing you to really unfold yourself into the world. That is what you need to know. A super philosophical reading for you. And that's gonna do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your generosity, and we're gonna see each other around. Until then, bye.